Hello, class. My name is Cindy Travers, and I chose Shirley Walters as one of my favorite adult educators. Now, I originally chose Ms. Walters, Dr. Walters, because I was intrigued by her quote. It is useful for the adult educator to be able to work with all forms of oppression simultaneously, facilitating the exploration of differences. As my research continued, I discovered that I was also intrigued by the fact that Dr. Walters is a great promoter of lifelong learning and instrumental in the professional development of community-based, rurally located facilitators, which is a personal interest of mine, as well as the fact that she's a recreational cyclist. And again, that's another interest of mine. Shirley holds the title of the first woman professor of adult education in South Africa. She's the founding director of the Center for Adult and Continuing Education at the University of Western Cape. The University of Western Cape is historically a Black university. 1970s and 1980s, Walters was an anti-apartheid campaigner, and she supported adult education that mainly was affecting the disenfranchised and the poor, particularly women. In 1989, the Center for Adult and Continuing Education brought adult educators that were in exile together with adult educators from inside the country for a conference in Zimbabwe. Walter's involvement in the international networks of adult educators through the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. In 1997, at the World Conference on Adult Education in Germany, Shirley Walters presented to three separate commissions: Women and Gender, Democracy, and Higher Education. And then in 2001, Shirley Walters was awarded an honorary doctorate from the University of Linköping, Sweden, in recognition of her international contributions. Dr. Walters built the field of education and developed policies during South Africa's transition to democracy. She was the first gender and anti-racism educational methodologies and training materials were developed through CASE. It was a flexible, innovative learning methodologies that developed to support the professional development of community-based, rurally located facilitators. She's instrumental in the International Master's Degree in Adult Learning and Global Change, which is a collaborative web-based course administered jointly by universities in Australia, Canada, South Africa, and Sweden. Her facilitator abilities were recognized when Dr. Walters was invited to act as the organizational consultant to the Office of President Nelson Mandela. She was the founding director of the Division for Lifelong Learning, and she was appointed by the Minister of Education to chair the South African Qualifications Authority. In addition, she was chairperson of a regional consortium of civil society, government, business, and educational organizations. Dr. Walters followed the teachings of Paulo Freire, where with adult educators are to reflect on the gender relations, and especially oppressive gender relations, where we must, as adult educators, must become self-conscious actors when we're reflecting, and we have to examine our own privileges, our own oppressions, our own biases, and then only then can we act alongside with others where we are open and willing to change both ourselves and society. Dr. Walters was the co-founder of the Women's Hope Education and Training, and she continues to present to present and influence internationally. And in addition, I wanted to share with you that she was and is a recreational cyclist, which I found fascinating. And then I shared with you one of her conferences from 2019 when she was talking about the difficulties with the water supply. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I look forward to listening to yours.